Can Mbappe do what Haaland couldn't? Welcome back, guys, to another Football 22 manager, should I say, experiment where we're going to see if Hearts can win the league. The Jam Tarts, the Jambos, we're trying to win our 5th league title. We tried this a week ago with the wonder kid, the Norwegian, the goal-scoring machine, Haaland. We brought him from Borussia Dortmund to Hearts. He had a year at the club and he tried his absolute best to win us the league. Did he do it? No, not quite. We did finish second though, only 9 points behind Rangers. Haaland himself had a great season. He scored 21 goals out of 36 league appearances with 10 assists, and he had an average rating of 7.48. He had the most goals in the league, he had the highest average rating in the league, and his assists were up there as well. I think he was like 4th in the assist charts at the end of the season. So, I mean, Haaland did really good, but he didn't do good enough to take the Jambos above Rangers. So we're going to see if this man can do it. We're going to see if Kylian Mbappe can be that difference maker. So the 22-year-old Frenchman has joined Hearts on loan. And the aim of the game is simply for him to score as many fucking goals as possible and try and lead Hearts to a league title. We're going to see if we can do it. We'll stop this video throughout certain parts of the season. We'll see how he's getting on. We'll see how Hearts are getting on. And then we'll see at the end of the season whether Mbappe was enough to beat the old firm. Well, look at this. Kylian Mbappe is on absolute fire, tearing up the Sige Premiership. We're 7 games in to the season. We're at the end of September, beginning of October, and it's almost Halloween time, but it's not a nightmare for Hearts. The whole Kylian Mbappe experiment seems to be working. Currently top of the table with 7 games played, 5 wins, 2 draws and 0 defeats. Albeit, yes, the other teams, Old Firm, are not exactly in great form. Celtic have only won 3 out of 7, Rangers have only won 4 out of 7, but still, you can only beat who's in front of you, and at this stage there's nobody in front of Hearts because they are currently first. Mbappe leading the way in goals, 5 goals, which is 1 more than Furuhashi and Morelos. He's leading the way in average match rating by a country mile, 7.94. John Souttar in second place, and he is also leading the way in player of the matches with 3. So I mean, Kylian Mbappe so far absolutely on fire. He's played 3 games in the Premier Sports Cup. He's got 3 goals in that too. He's having a really good season. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. He's a great player, but is he great enough to keep Hearts top of the league? They're top for now, but we're only 7 games in. What's going to happen when we're 38 games in? Will Hearts still be top of the pile? We don't know. We're going to skip now through to the beginning of the new year to see if Hearts can maintain their lead. The only unbeaten team in the league, but will that still be the case when we hit January? It's the 1st of January, 21 games into the season, and Mbappe's powers, they haven't ran out. They're still going strong, but not strong enough to keep Hearts at the top of the table. You can see they've now dropped down into 2nd place. They've added 2 defeats to their record since we last checked it, but that's not bad. 2 defeats in 14 games isn't horrible. They're still doing alright. 14 wins out of 21. 5 draws and 2 defeats. They've got the exact same goal difference as Rangers. The only difference is Hearts have lost an extra game, whereas Rangers have won that game. The gap is 3 points, but Hearts have a huge advantage over 2nd place Celtic. So it looks like, worst case scenario, Hearts will get 2nd again, just like last time. We spoke about how Haaland got Hearts 2nd. Well, it looks like Mbappe's going to get them at least 2nd as well. Mbappe's still top of the goal scoring charts, 11 goals for his team. Average rating, still top of that, although he is joint with Connor Goldson on 7.55. He's 2nd in the assist category with 8 assists, just 1 behind McGrath, and he is still top of the player of the match awards with 6. So I mean, Mbappe still having a really good season. 19 appearances, 11 goals and 8 assists, so he's averaging, he's contributing to a goal once every game. So I mean, he's either scoring or assisting every game. Premier Sports Cup, he's got 4 goals out of 4 appearances in that, so he's doing alright. He's not doing bad, but Rangers have overtaken Hearts, which is a wee bit of an issue. We'll have a look. I'm assuming Rangers must have beat Hearts. I'm assuming that's where one of the losses came out. Yeah, so it did. Rangers beat Hearts at Tynecastle. Hearts also lost the Premier Sports Cup semi-final at Hampden. So Hearts' 2 defeats this season have both been against Rangers. They've lost to Ibrox, where goals for Brian Gill and Joe Aribo gave Rangers the win, And then at Tynecastle, a Kylian Mbappe penalty got Hearts level, but Kamara scored 2 minutes after that to give Rangers the win. So, I mean, if those two games had ended differently, then obviously Hearts would be top, but there's two big matches when it's first versus second, and when one of the teams are winning both of them, then the likelihood is they're probably going to be top. But I think Hearts have responded not too bad since then. They've picked up 7 points since that defeat against Rangers. They've got a tough month coming up in January here. Got Hibernian, Celtic and Motherwell, followed by Rangers on the 5th of February. So the next 4 games could make or break the Hearts season. We're going to go now and we're going to advance to the split, and we'll see if Hearts still have a mathematical chance, a realistic chance of winning the league with 5 games to go. Squeaky bum time, we're into the final 5 games, we're into the post-split, and Hearts have taken the lead. They were 3 points behind Rangers the last time we checked at the start of the new year. They're now 2 points ahead of Rangers with an extra win. Rangers only drawing that game, so you see Hearts now with 22 wins out of 33. Rangers with the 21 wins out of 33. Kylian Mbappe still leading the way with the goals, 17 goals, one ahead of Kyogo Furuhashi. Still got the highest average rating, 7.54. Got the second most assists with 10 behind McGrath. He's got the most player of the matches. But I mean, let's be real, it's not all. I don't think it's all Kylian Mbappe. We can see that Craig Gordon is having a great season, 17 clean sheets. He's second in the player of the match. I'm sure that's down to a lot of Craig Gordon's great goalkeeping, and it's also going to be down to the good Hearts defence as well. So even though they are top, and a lot of it is due to Kylian Mbappe's goals, I think you have to also give credit to perhaps the defensive side of things, because at the moment they're doing a really, really good job. Now, we did cover that Hearts lost both their opening games to Rangers. The first 2 matches they played against Rangers, they lost both. How did they do in the third one? Well, the third one they drew 0-0 at Ibrox, which I guess is not a bad result. Craig Gordon, they're picking up an 8.5 match rating, so I think it's fair to say Craig Gordon was probably the star performer that day. Since then, I mean, if you look at that though, they didn't have a good January. They must have fell on more points behind Rangers there, because they drew against Celtic, they lost at home, lost at Tynecastle to Motherwell 2-1. But since then, it's been very good. Apart from this defeat here against Aberdeen, they've won pretty much every single game. They've got a Scottish Cup semi-final coming up against Rangers soon. That will be at Hampden, with the winner obviously going into the final, which will also be at Hampden. But now we're into the top 6 split, guys. It's Rangers, it's Hearts. They're all playing the same club, so there's no easy games. Obviously, some might have an easier run-in because they've got home fixtures compared to away fixtures, but Hearts and Rangers are all playing the same teams here as we get to a close, so no more excuses. Hearts have a 2 points lead though. Can they hold on to it? They do have to go away to Ibrox, which seems unfair. Hold on here. In February, that game against Rangers was at Ibrox, and then the opening game was at Ibrox. So Hearts are having to go to Ibrox 3 times compared to the 1 time that Rangers have to go to Tynecastle. That doesn't seem right to me, man. I'm going to call out bullshit on that. Could that be the deciding factor on whether or not Kylian Mbappe can fire Hearts to a cinch Premiership title? Let's find out. And Hearts have done it. They've won their 5th league title. Not only though thanks to Kylian Mbappe, there was a few other factors that led to Hearts win the title. We'll cover them in a minute. But in the end, Hearts with a total of 85 points was enough to beat Rangers. And you can see, you're probably thinking, what the hell happened to Rangers? Well, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Rangers only finishing 1 point ahead of Celtic after having a huge advantage over their old firm rivals. Well, how did that happen exactly? Let's go and look, because towards the end of Rangers, look at that, green, having a great season. And then look at this. Since they lost to Dundee at Dens Park, they picked up just one league win out their last. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 8. So out their last 8 league games, they picked up 1 win. And that was a home 2-1 victory over St Mirren. Ryan Kent and a Hadji penalty. Oh, a penalty to Rangers. Who would have guessed it? But apart from that, I mean, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Lost to Aberdeen at Ibrox in the split, lost to Hearts at Ibrox in the split, went to Celtic Park, got beat in the split, lost to St Mirren pre-split, lost to Dundee pre-split, Absolutely shocking there for Rangers, and this may be a case of Rangers blew the title rather than Hearts won it. But let's give Hearts some credit. Let's look at the goal stats. Who was really there when it boils down to it? Kylian Mbappe, 19 goals, but not enough to take him to the top of the goal scoring charts. He was beat out by Kyogo Furuhashi, who got 20 goals. They both had the same amount of appearances. Kyogo Furuhashi was averaging a goal every 156 minutes, whereas it was averaging Kylian Mbappe 168 minutes. Kyogo Furuhashi was also more effective up front. He was getting more shots away. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Furuhashi just overall had a better season, but these two were miles ahead of anyone else, 7 goals ahead of third place Ramirez, Morelos, McGrath and Samuel. You also had a couple of other Hearts players adding in goals. You had Liam Boyce with 11, you had Ben Woodburn with 11. This guy here, no idea who he is, but he's called Hannibal. He's on loan from Manchester United. Jesus Christ, 16 to 48 million is his estimated value. And he looked to be some player. Well, even though I can't see his stats, I'm just assuming based on his value. So maybe he's a reason why Hearts did so well and possibly won the league. If we're looking at average ratings, you've got Kylian Mbappe leading the way with a 7.54, but I mean, you've got a bunch of Hearts players in the top 10. You've got Craig Gordon, you've got Suter, you've got that Hannibal guy as we talked about, so it just goes to show that these three also played a major part in Hearts winning the league. When it comes to assists, Kylian Mbappe's assists kind of dropped off, although he was joint top, but he was doing really well towards it. I mean, him and McGrath were way ahead of everyone else, and then they must have just dried up, but he was a joint top assister in the league as well. We look at clean sheets. This went to Craig Gordon with 18, 36 appearances. He was conceding a goal every 75 minutes, which is solid. It's really solid. So yeah, you can't really complain about that. Actually, that might be less than I think that's less than 75 because it's 75 out of the 90 minutes. So I think that's actually, he's conceding about a goal every 71, 72 minutes, something like that. So yeah, very impressive. And player of the match again, Kylian Mbappe, leading the way. Joint with Liam Kelly. Joint with Liam Kelly in first place. We also had Craig Gordon, though, joint third place. So it just goes to show you that he did have a good season. And overall, it looks like the entire Hearts team had a good season. And they needed to, if we're being completely honest, guys. You would need to have a great season to win the league. And that's exactly what they've done. Let's have a look then. What was the most common tactics? So it looks like they're actually playing Mbappe out on the right and not up front. I thought perhaps Boyce would have been on the bench with Mbappe up front, but it doesn't look that way. They also had this guy here, this Hannibal dude in midfield who we spoke about. Looks to be solid. And he got a lot of assists. He actually did. I mean, got 8 goals as well, which is pretty good. But I mean, nothing really compares to Kylian Mbappe's total. But look at Mbappe then. 19 goals and 11 assists. So he's averaging 30. He's contributing to 30 goals out of 36 appearances. No bad. In the Scottish Cup, which Hearts went on to win. We'll have a look at that in a minute. But 3 goals, 3 assists. Overall, though, I mean, the guy was phenomenal, averaging 26 goals and 14 assists over the year. And if we do go on to look at Hearts and see how they got on towards the end of the season, they just put on a really, really good winning run. I know they lost to Celtic, but apart from that, you have to go all the way back to that March 2nd defeat against Aberdeen. Apart from that, they went on to pretty much steamroll everybody, including 2 games against Rangers, 1 in the Scottish Cup semi-final, 1 in the post-split at Ibrox, and then they went on to defeat Celtic in the Scottish Cup final. Goals from Liam Boyce and Hannibal, giving giving Hearts a 2-1 victory over the shitey green team for Glasgow. So anyway, guys, that's it. Kylian Mbappe has done what Haaland could not do. He's took Hearts right to the top of Scotland. He's won the league, and not only that, he's won the Scottish Cup as well. So yeah, great there for Kylian Mbappe. Hopefully Robbie Nielsen's watching this video and he tries to sign Kylian Mbappe next season, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll have a chance, guys, at winning the league, and we might even pick up a point in Glasgow. Who knows? We might even get a point out of Glasgow. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like, share, subscribe, comment on this video, and until next time, peace.